Okay, I would like to quickly demonstrate what I have so far. So for attack, invisible sword, press a button, it will show up, and hold down the button to charge, and you slash in the direction that conserves its momentum. So if the sword is pointing forward, I could do a forward slash, but if I want to do a upward thrust, it will disintegrate. So the opponent will see where the sword is coming from when you are charging it up. So when it counts to multiplayer, you could outplay your opponent or anticipate their attack, or block it if you see which direction it's coming from. Also, I tweaked a little, so now it's easier to charge up the sword. It used to be that when your hands move at a certain distance, the expired timer will start counting. But I kind of realized, human arm is not very precise like a machine. The computer is always calculating how much your hand moves, but your hand is always moving little by little. So I do not want that to, become a hindrance to the charge mechanics. So you can now kind of change your hand position little by little, which will not trigger the expired timer, which I just did. But if you move very little and very slowly, it will not trigger the timer, and you could just keep doing this, or even change the angle of the sword, and then you can attack, which will trigger the timer, of course, when you move quickly and fast and longer distance. The other thing is our movement. Right now I have a analog stick of movement, which is very straightforward. I could go left, right, forward, backward. This one is just the default movement for the player. When you runs into an enemy, I expect them to use another movement, which is the charge dash. So as you can see by the green thing on the ground, that's showing how far I could go. So if I go forward, I should hit exactly where this pillar is. So this green thing is basically my stamina. If I keep spamming it, my allowed movement will become less and less. So I cannot really use this spam this to dodge attacks. This one should be more used more offensively rather than defensively. And then when you run out of stamina, when the green thing becomes really low, very little, you could start walking around using the default movement, and also standing still, of course. You will recharge stamina by default. And the last movement I have, the last movement method I have is a sidestepping. So when I'm charging up, I'm basically helpless. I cannot move. I can only wait until I reach the distance I want to reach, and then move then. So I added a new thing, which is when I'm charging, I could use the analog stick to quickly dash in the direction I want to. Of course, that would use up a little bit of stamina, but I think it's worth it. Also, you can use it to kind of trick your opponent. So if I want to say I do a forward slash, of course, but I could also quickly dash to the side and then attack in another direction. Yeah, so I'm gonna show what it's gonna be like using these. I just downloaded an asset online that allows me to cut things, but I haven't figured out how it actually works yet. But it kind of works. I at least show what I'm cutting, but I will show how easy it is to play in this mode. So I charge up my sword, the side, I cut it, and I did hit, of course. And right now everything is pretty straightforward. I think it's most players should be able to easily play this. There should be no problem whatsoever. I could also use a more tricky slash, for example, dash to the side and then like here. Yep. So that's about it, and thank you for watching.